look. We're gonna look at some of these items on the board. You do not have to write them or draw them. But I want you to think, what do these things have in common? I have a card, I have some eggs, I have some boots, and I have some mittens. What are some things that these items have in common? A little tricky. Gia?
The boots and the mittens can go on you.
Okay, I want something all four of them have in common though.
All of them you can get.
Okay. Like you could buy them all? Sure. You could buy them all. Definitely something they have in common. Lily?
You can only use them for certain things.
Okay, so you can use them. Dorian? Or not Dorian. William?
It has color.
Does have color. What else do these things have in common? Nathan?
They all are something you want or need.
Could be something that you want or need. Sure. Lily Marie?
Something that you can organize.
Something that you can organize. What do you mean by that?
Like the three, there's a certain amount of things in each. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Can I go to the store and buy just one boot?
No.
Could I go to the store and buy just one card out of a deck of cards?
No. Sometimes you can.
Not just one. You
You
gotta buy the whole pack. Could I go to the store and just buy one egg out of the carton?
No. How are you supposed to make?
Could I go to the store and buy one mitten out of the carton? Or out of the container? No, these all come in groups. So we have our boots and our mittens. Lily, I heard you use the word pair. They come in a pair. How many is a pair? How many is a pair? Lainey? Two. You do not go to the store and buy 3 boots. You don't go to the store and buy 7 mittens. You buy them in pairs. They come in packs of 2. Nope. Nope. We're just thinking with me. What about eggs? How do I get those? I don't go to the store and just buy one. And I don't go to the store and buy a pair of eggs. How do I get eggs? What kind of group are they sold in? Okay? A dozen, usually. You can get different variations. Oops. How much is a dozen? How many is in a dozen, Dorian? 12. So these are sold in 12s. What about a card? What is that group called? Billy? A deck. We could say a pack, but usually it is a deck of cards. All right, this is a tricky one. How many? Does anyone know? How many cards are in a deck of cards? It's not 1,000. Lily Marie, do you know?
I think it's like 30 or 40.
It's not 30 or 40. Aiden, do you know? Nope. William, do you know?
52.
There are 52. 52 cards in a deck. 52 cards in a deck. So today, we're going to be thinking about things in groups. Okay? So what are some other things that come in groups? Don't tell me eggs, cards, mittens, boots. What else do you know comes in groups? Anything. Anything. Kylie, what's something you know that comes in a group? Socks. Alright, we are going to make this list. So underneath it, you can just put things that come in groups, and we're going to list some things. So socks. How many typically can you buy of socks? You have to write what I've underlined and then now what I'm writing. Kylie, how many socks do you get when you buy socks? What's the smallest amount of socks you could get? 2. I understand you can get packs of socks, right? Like 8. But a lot of times they're together in groups of 2. Good. We're writing this part. we have that can come in some groups, Dorian?
Children.
Children come in groups?
They can come in triplets.
Ooh, I like that, Dorian. So we have twins. How many would be a set of twins, Dorian? Two. If we did triplets, how many would that be, Dorian? Three. Oh, man. Oh, man.
That would be weird.
Remember, you're writing these down, so make sure you're staying with me. Gia, what else comes in groups?
Pencils.
Pencils? What do pencils usually come in?
Like packs of 4 through 2.
It's usually in 12.
Let's think a little bit different instead of pencils. What about crayons? What's the packs of crayons? Because those come in very specific packs. We have a couple of different options. Lily,
48.
you could get a 48 pack, which means there's 48 crayons in there. What else could you get, Billy? 24. What else could you get? Barrett? You could get 120.
You could get 64.
You can get 64. You can get 8. Did you know you could get an 8 pack?
Yeah.
Just the main colors. Not anything crazy like mac and cheese. You could get a 12. Crayons come in lots of different packs. Thank you to those who are writing and limiting your side conversations. Kylie, what do you think? Let's think of things that have to come in a specific group, though. I understand that, yes, we do come in groups, but I want something that has to come that way. Barrett, do you have something?
Markers.
Markers. Is that going to be kind of similar to crayons?
Yeah.
Perfect. If you go to a donut shop and you ask for a box of donuts, how many are they going to give you? Probably. Hunter?
They could give you about 8 or 6.
They could give you 6.
Yeah.
They give you a specific number usually. Billy, do you know? 12. They give you a dozen. You can get 6. You could get 1. But a lot of times you get a dozen. You get 12.
A dozen? Get a dozen donuts?
Dozen donuts. What do you think, William? William's raising his hand, so I'm focusing on what he's going to say.
Chalk.
Chalk? What does chalk usually come in? A pack? Pack of how many? Maybe. Chalk is going to be kind of like crayons. They can come in big packs. Like mine down here comes in a pack of 36. But it could come in many different things. What you thinking, Barrett?
The U.S.
U.S. comes in packs of what?
51.
50. 50. What are 50 what?
U.S.
50 what?
States.
States. We're a pack of states. There's 50 of us. If you say the United States, you're not talking about 2 of them. You're not talking about 4 of them. You're usually talking about all 50. The whole crew. Dorian, what you thinking?
So do you know how those big bags lots of chips that you can get at Walmart?
Okay.
They have about like 8 bags of chips sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes they have like 48.
Okay. Lily? Okay. There are lots of things that come in groups. When you buy things really anywhere, you could get it in a group situation. What do we notice about the things that we listed? Nope. Nope, you don't have to write that down. What do you notice? Look at the numbers in the groups. What's something that you notice? So for instance, socks come in 2s, twins come in 2s, triplets 3s, donuts 12s, states 50, crayons, chalk, markers, those kinds of things. 48, 24, 120, 64, 8, 12. What's something that you're noticing just by looking at that? Kate, what did you notice?
All of them were counted by 2s except the triplets.
A lot of them are what we call even. Have we heard that term even?
Yes.
That term even means that it's a partnership. Everyone has a partner. Odd would be someone does not have a partner.
There's only one odd.
There is only one odd. It seems to me that even numbers, or groups that can be formed in partners, are a lot of our groups. Doesn't mean that we can't have groups of 3, just that a lot of them, please stop talking over me, a lot of them are in groups of 2, or different variations of groups of 2. Hunter, what are you thinking?
I went cousins that are twins.
That's awesome. Are you thinking about math, or are you telling me something random? Okay, yes.
The states are odd too.
States are not odd. It's 50, which can be broken into 2 groups, 25 and 25. I know it's tricky because 5 would be odd, but it's still an even number. So it's just interesting to notice that a lot of things, when they're arranged in groups, are arranged in some version of 2. Raise your hand if you are a master at skip counting by 2s. I don't need proof. I just need your hand. Yeah, isn't that weird that like all of you are so good at that, and then things that we buy, most of them are in groups of 2? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that weird? Alright, so what we're going to do today is we're going to use that idea of groups to count things. So for instance, here are 4 hands. Give me a thumbs up if you see the 4 hands. There are 5 fingers on each hand. Give me a thumbs up if you believe there are 5 fingers on each hand. How many fingers are there all together? There are a couple of different strategies I could use. Just like in our coloring boxes activity yesterday, could I count every single finger?
Yes. No.
I could. I could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I could do that. I could count every single one. What could be a more efficient strategy, though? Mason?
Counting by 5.
Why did you say counting by 5s?
Because there's 5 fingers on each hand.
Very good. So they're already in groups. My hands are my groups. Can you write this first sentence in your notebook? Here are 4 hands, and then hands equal groups. If you run out of room, that's fine. If not, you can keep going. I don't care. So what Mason is saying is instead of counting each finger individually, which you could do that, that's fine. We're going to be a little more efficient and use the groups that are already there. How many groups are here, Mesa?
2.
Oh, look again. How many groups? Groups of fingers. Not total fingers. Don't count each finger. I want to know how many groups of fingers. Billy, you want to help him out? 4. Here's 1. Here's 2.
Oh, okay.
Here's 3. Here's 4.
I thought you meant like how many, like he meant like by 2s on it.
Well, remember our groups you told us were 5, because that's how many fingers we had on one hand.
5 on one.
Okay. There are 5 fingers on each hand. So in your notebook, I want you to draw 4 circles or squares, kind of like I did. Those are going to be your groups. And inside each circle, we're going to write the number 5 because there's 5 fingers on this hand, 5 fingers on this hand, 5 fingers on this hand, and 5 fingers on this hand. Hang on, Kate. Give me some seconds. From here, I have a lot of different parts, but I don't know my whole yet. I can make an addition equation to figure out the total number of fingers. I'm going to do that by adding each group. So my addition equation that you're going to write underneath is going to be 5 plus, here's my next group, 5, here's my next group, plus 5, my last group, plus 5, equals something. I want you to write this part. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals something. Ashley, what?
Or you could do 5 plus 5 equals what? 10. Then the other 5 plus 5, then you can add that two together.
So what Ashlyn's saying is just after you have written this whole sentence, you can add up the different parts. As long as they all get added together, it doesn't really matter what order. Addition's super cool like that. Doesn't matter what order I add them in. Still gonna give you the same total. What is my total? How many total fingers do I have? Okay? 20. Here's the last important thing. How many groups did we have? How many groups did I have?
Oh,
Aiden?
4.
You gotta write this part down. 4 groups of 5, which means each group had 5, equals 20. 4 groups of 5 equals 20. Yep, go ahead and put that up next. This is the big sentence I need, because that's going to help us as we continue to work with groups. Make sure you have that part. Yeah, I could say 1 plus 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 1, and keep going, keep going, keep going. I could do that. That's mathematically correct.
But it's going to take forever.
But we want to work smarter, not harder. That's a lot of work. If I put them in groups,
It would be easy.
then it's way shorter. Look at my equation now.
And you could just double the
So shorter. These are not the only things that we're going to be putting in groups today. We're going to be counting other things that come in groups. Are we good? Can I move on?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put you in groups of probably 2 or 3. And I'm going to give you a piece of big paper. And on that paper, you are going to solve these questions. So how many mittens are on 6 people? Question 2, how many wheels are on 8 cars? How many eyes are on 7 faces? And how many legs are on 4 spiders? Pause. Pause. Just so we're clear, how many mittens would be on 1 person? 2 mittens would be on 1 person. How many wheels would be on 1 car, Gio? 4. How many eyes are on 1 person, Cade?
Oh, I was going to say we could do times.
How many eyes are on 1 person, Cade? 2. Hold that thought, Kay. Give us some time to figure it out. Aiden, how many legs are on one spider?
I mean
8. 8 legs on a spider. So what I want you doing, when you get your paper, for each one, I want you to draw the groups, and you can put the number inside. I want a repeated addition sentence, and I want how many groups of whatever equals your answer. Lily, thank you.
It's 12 mittens on 6 people.
Is that helpful or anything of what we're doing? Okay. Do you have a question? Okay, great. Any questions about what we're doing?
No.
We're good?
Yes.
Okay. With a crayon, if this is my paper right here, I'm going to split it into 4 boxes just like this. Do that now. Alright, conveniently, there are 3 of you, and you need to put 3 things for each question. The first thing you're going to do is a picture. That picture probably is not going to be detailed. If you can crank out some spiders real quick, that's fine. But I don't want it to take 800 years. That's the first thing you need to do. Draw a picture of what it looks like. Second thing that you have to do is what's called a repeated addition, which just means that long plus equation that we did over here, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, repeated just means you do it over and over again. This is a repeated addition equation. That's what I should see for whatever picture you're doing. Okay? Okay. The last thing is a groups of sentence. So it should say however many groups of whatever. So maybe I have hands and fingers. 4 hands groups of 5. That might not be what you're counting. You're counting mittens on people. Are there any questions about the 3 things you're doing? There's 3 of you, which means for every single one person should do this step, a different person should do this step, and a different person should do this step. Now, if Dorian is the first person and he draws the picture, stop talking while I'm talking. If he draws the picture for number 1, should he probably draw the picture for number 2?
No.
No. Change it up. So if you are the picture drawer for number 1, then do not be the picture drawer for number 2. Maybe you'll be in charge of an addition equation or a groups of sentence. Any questions? Use your teammates to help you figure it out. If you're not sure what the equation looks like or what the groups of sentence looks like, use your group to help you figure it out. We good? Get started.